Welcome to Kiwis and Dragons, a D&D adventure from Aotearoa, New Zealand, the home of hobbits. Our intrepid party of adventurers consists of Duncan Daynut, a fart, basically a small fart, a fighter with a heart of gold and a brain of turnip.
Grandma Dana used to say, never crush a pixie that is helping you fly across a lake. Now, when I was a young boy growing up, I never saw the wisdom in that quote, and it was only until recently that I realised, yet again, Grandma Dana has proved to be very prophetic in her words of advice.
Undra Vermis, a drowned necromancer with a fascination of death and a mystery to solve.
I put the reason in treason.
Tish Dusklight, a gnome bard that sings like an angel and talks like a mugger in a dark alley.
Welcome to Rowan's Hero Place. There's Undra's face. She's in Skull's Hero Place. Feels like we've been here for a year without much to fear. Shit, there's lizard people here.
And Skjold Gunvardsen, a war cleric who lets his hammer do most of the talking.
I'm feeling a bit peculiar about this Grandma Dana. It's like the Swedes used to say. By Swedes, I mean North people. Du anar ugglor I mossen. It's like you sent these owls in the bog.
Oh, yes.
That's really cool.
Yes.
I sort of think Grandma Dana's make more sense, really.
I see a man in the town when I have owls in my bog.
Oh.
I'll give you his name.
Well, we join our party. Having ventured across the plains of the land of the god of war, Rowan's realm, they have come across a village following the directions given to them by the half-giant Manuk upon entering the realm, and upon entering the village were immediately fronted by a group of lizard-like folk. Surprised and on guard immediately, the lizard-like group, the inhabitants of this village, turned and stepped forward, bearing arms, at which point, Duncan, I believe you dropped down to one knee in reverence of clearly the interruption of a funeral of some sort. And this is where we pick up. As at least two of these 6-foot-tall bipedal lizards, kind of large maws, sharp teeth filling them, stand forward, each one of them brandishing a thick, solid wood club, some form of shield made of large serpent or fish scales. Step forward. To your ears, at the moment, an unintelligible kind of hiss and a form of speech that is somewhat between a snake and maybe like an ape of some sort, very guttural but hissing, and completely no idea what is being said as the four of you stand near to the entrance of this village. The two approach you slowly, banging their clubs on their shields.
I will grab my little clay cigarette that I've prepared earlier, and then I'm gonna touch myself, and I'm gonna utter an incantation and ask for Rowan's guidance. This is casting the spell Tongues.
Oh.
Because I actually had it prepared earlier because this place is weird.
Yeah.
So
Nice work.
Yes. So I don't have any like combat useful stuff prepared today.
No. So as you kind of finish casting the spell,
Yep.
The guttural hiss and elongated kind of like suddenly turns into kind of words, sentences. What? Do not come closer. Stay. Who are you? It's that kind of continuous kind of banging of their clubs on their shield, clearly some form of intimidation. They stop one side of a small wooden bridge as you have entered the village, the funeral pyre on the other side, you just having come through the gate. Silence as they stare at the four of you.
Does it allow you to talk to them?
That's... I need to actually check that. Moreover, when the target speaks, any creature knows at least one language. Yeah, they will understand me as well.
Cool. Oh, that works.
Yeah. So I will we come in peace.
One of them looks and says,
I'm telling them that we're coming in peace, and
they look at each other. Who are you? And the three of you, again, you just hear this kind of strange intellect, completely unknown to you. But you shall clearly hear them. What are you doing?
yes. Skjöld Gundvaldsson. This is Undra, Duncan, and Queen Tish.
One of them stands, smashing again his club. Enoch, you interrupt a very sad moment. You challenge us.
No, we don't challenge you unless we absolutely have to. Because this is a time of mourning. We might have to fight them because I think they challenge that we're challenging them.
At this point, and the scales of these creatures, it's quite kind of earthy green, bright green in colour. They've got frills running down from almost the top of their heads in very much a kind of a lizard or a draconic style. And these are slightly different, a mix of kind of oranges and yellows. But at this point, a slightly smaller in stature, darker green scaled lizard runs past, and he's just holding a small book, and he runs out and puts his hand on the shoulder, reaching up of Enoch, the one that's initially kind of challenging you, and in his tongue speaks, and you hear, come brother, come, see how they act in reverence, and they have a queen, maybe we can learn information. And then he looks to you all, and in a very, very broken form of common, welcome to a village. Where from? What land? And he puts his hand onto his kind of chest and taps it twice. Mecca. Holding his kind of book in one hand.
Oh, see if they know that chap called Messon that we've got that parcel for.
Yeah. Do you know anyone called Messon? We got a parcel for him from...
Manuk.
Yeah, Manuk, the big dude.
Mecca turns around and he looks, and he goes to turn to the kind of the warrior lizard, and he's like, I understand them. What is this? And they have a conversation which you can hear very. In fact, because of the distance, he starts to whisper. Just roll a just perception check for me as they start speaking.
24.
You do hear the kind of hushed tones. Maybe one of them has cast magic. Surely one of them has a spell. But I don't think they are here. They have things for us. Maybe we should just invite them. And they have a conversation and turn around. The taller one, Enoch, just looks at you very warily, and no point ever like kind of dropping a defense. But the darker scaled Mecca, the lizard, invites you. Come. We are having, and in that broken common, a funeral for chief. There's a battle. And he looks down. And he kind of gestures with his hand, leaning to the massive pyre, and this kind of very quiet crowd that is gathered, looking at the and watching the whole interaction. Village burial. And he just puts his hand up and goes, shh, and kind of gestures you to come and stand on the outskirts. As a couple of them just stay warily and watch you, as suddenly a little bit of noise comes up, and another kind of slightly older looking lizard, and you can tell by the way it holds itself, more of a kind of a drooping of the shoulders and a slow movement, can kind of continues to then speak quietly to the group. From what you can understand, Shold, he's for the next few minutes just reciting a list of deeds done by the fallen warrior. He finishes by offering a blessing to the god that Vit is looked upon fondly in the Hall of Champions as a great warrior and a chief. And then all the crowd start kind of this strange song, very melodic and down kind of cast, a tune that just kind of seems to pull at the heartstrings of everyone, and slowly it starts to kind of fade off. And at that point, probably about 10 minutes has gone past, maybe 10 to 15 minutes, and you've just all been stood there quietly. And some of the gathering village starts to move away into houses, at which point hustle and bustle and this kind of strange conversation starts up around all of you. And the one speaking to you starts to speak directly towards you, Shold, in his lizard, like natural tongue. Can you still, how long does tongues last?
An hour.
Okay, so, and he says, am I right in thinking you can understand me?
Yes, I understand you.
Then he gestures.
No, I can't understand the word you're saying, sorry.
Did he just say he can understand me?
No, I will translate.
Because I couldn't understand him.
No, there are very few who can understand him, unfortunately.
You said you have a queen in your party.
Yes, she goes by that title, Queen Tish.
So she is a queen of her realm.
It's a very small
To us.
realm.
Yeah.
She's a warrior queen. She has no procession group. She's
She's
truly
a lot.
fit. We are a realm of warriors here.
Yes, I've been sent here because this is the realm of my god. And we're looking for the temple.
You follow the path of Rowan.
Yes.
Well, and he,
No, I'm still not getting any of this, I'm afraid.
All right, so I'm just explaining that you don't understand him, and he's asking about Queen Tish. I told her she's the queen of her little own realm.
Oh, you're such a cool friend.
Yeah,
Thank you.
I'm trying not to get you in trouble.
So, Joel, it's only you he can understand, yes?
Yeah,
They can understand,
yeah.
okay.
So
Oh, that's good. We can keep it.
he comes to you and he goes, I speak little common tongue. And he stutters for a minute, clearly searching for the right word. My master also speak good common tongue. I take you to him now.
Oh, that'd be smashing.
yeah, he wants to take us to his leader.
He kind of looks and goes, no, you cannot smash him.
Oh, no, I didn't mean that.
I-
I just meant it would be really great, like...
It's a saying from our world.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And he puts his hand on your shoulder and goes,
Uh-oh.
smash him.
Yes.
Oh, right. Oh, no, sorry.
And he starts to lead you off, and kind of in an attempt to obviously from what you're reading from this, clearly trying to make you three feel comfortable, and then he starts to speak back to Shold again. What brings you to this realm, warrior of Rowan?
The trials of Rowan.
You wish to follow the warrior's path.
Yes.
Well,
And he's asking me what we're doing here, and I was like, we're gonna get the hammer and then we're gonna smash some dudes.
Oh, okay. You could go back and like fight the rest of them pixies if you wanted.
Nah, there was only that one dude I did like the cut of his jib,
Oh,
and also he attacked Undra, and I'm like, we need to put some more war in this realm. I'm
He
just
loved me.
I'm just explaining to my friends what we're talking about.
what
they
happened,
don't
what happened to their leader? Find out what killed him.
Yes. So yeah, my friend here, Duncan, wants to know what happened to your leader, the wise leader that.
Vit, he is the leader of the village and the chief, and led a great hunt for food. And the great beast, Topian, of the giant lake, he attacked. It's very dangerous in the water in this land, but we need the food.
Yes.
And unfortunately, Viet saved the other warriors, but fell at the last. The great Topian still lives.
Yes. We saw tracks down there, down by the lake.
Yes, the big lake.
And he got killed by this monster Topian.
What sort of monster is it?
So some big lake monster. So they were foraging for food, and then that made sure that the others could escape, the other warriors.
At this point, whilst moving very slowly through, a number of very small, well, obviously clearly lizard children are kind of like hiding behind things, and some have kind of got frills of yellow and some have frills of red, and one of them's like got this kind of strange little wooden carving in one hand and is looking, and they're kind of talking, and one of them's looking at you, Tish, right, as you walk by.
What's the carving on the little lizard's hand? Can you ask your friend?
Yeah.
Queen wants to know.
Oh, my friend Queen Tish wants to know what that carving is that the child is holding.
It looks over. Slana, and he kind of speaks in a little kind of creature like. Yes, because let me have your Fluffy for a moment. And he takes it. No, it's my Fluffy.
Yeah.
It
So,
is.
but her name is Slana, and that's her Fluffy.
And he looks, and you can see him very.
No, so something might have gotten lost in translation.
I think so.
As they're trying to and forth with this little tiny wooden carving of what looks like a humanoid figure, maybe with a frill on the back. There's not very much detail in it. And she's like, no, Papa, no. He's like, it is like a toy.
Ah.
The children are very inquisitive.
Oh, I've got a toy doll. Can I give it to one of them?
Oh, Lord.
Please.
I'll just take this doll that I think I got it from them goblin caves like many ages ago where that thing like ate my brain. So I think it's a goblin doll, but I've had it all this time. So I'll give it to the little girl.
She's kind of wide-eyed and takes it off of you. And she's, Alec, and just turns around and runs back to the group, waving the little thing. And they kind of run off now, like trailing after her, like she's like the mecca of all the children in this place.
It wasn't bewitched,
And
was it?
Oh, I've got no idea. The goblin's pretty horrible,
the creature
probably.
turns to you. Thank you. Trade? And he's like, what? Again, searching for the words, and he goes, I apologize to you, Shold. My common is terrible, but may I offer a trade? Information or something?
Yes.
For,
He wants to give you something in return, Duncan. A trade for that.
Excellent. Could you tell them if there's a lizard word for beer?
Yes. Duncan wants to know if you've got any beer or maybe a pub.
I think I know what you are after.
Yes.
We have a number of casks of a beverage from Manuk.
Yes, if it comes in a cask, it's good enough for Duncan.
And yes,
They seem to have some of Manuk's
Oh,
brew.
that was great.
Yeah.
That stuff that he spat out and made from his own spit. Yeah, I
Oh,
love that.
yeah.
That was excellent.
You had
Yeah.
to swim in
Tasty.
it, did you not?
Oh, I did, yeah.
Yes.
It made my skin quite lovely.
and as you're kind of conversing, another lizard comes up and speaks to Manuka very formally, and you clearly understand there's a Manuka. Misan has requested you bring the visitors to speak straight away. He's in his hut.
They're gonna take us. The leader wants to talk to us. So they're gonna.
Cool.
So
That's the chap who we got to give the stuff to, isn't it?
yeah.
Yeah.
And he explains to what's going on. We must go and speak to my master.
Yes, that would be our honor to speak to.
He is not the chief. Best way to describe him is the elder, the person who we go to for advice and searching for the ways of Rowan. He knows better than all. And it's not a long walk. And walking through the village, there is I think I mentioned last time, there's a large stream running through, pretty much segmenting the village into two halves. There's a number of bridges just spanning this, maybe no more than 5-6 foot across. A number of round huts made from kind of straw and wood and like kind of a very basic looking hamlet. A number of these lizards are moving around now, and you can see some carrying big like grass woven dishes of what look like vegetables and things and they seem to be congregating at a large fire pit as they walk past. And you're being led up a very crude looking kind of ramp to a kind of a large hut that stands on its own on almost like a small second level of earth raised up very tight against a wall, which is where the village is kind of nestled against. This wall, part of the large wall where you can clearly see that split, that divide, that kind of passageway, cavern, a crevice, as it were, running from this area through the rock wall to another place. That heady incense smell of grass and herbs and description is making its way out of this particular tent. It is an area. There's a strange looking kind of staff on the outside with a skull of a bird on it, some kind of straw tassels and feathers hanging from it. The lizard you're with, Mecca turns and says, "He's slow, but clever. Respect I ask of you here,
Yes.
of you and all your friends."
Yes. So the elder we're gonna talk to, he's a bit slow but clever because he's probably old.
Oh, a bit like me.
Yes, a bit like you. So we need to show them respect.
Okay.
I think it's the other way around.
Oh, I'm quick and stupid. Is that what you mean?
That's the
Oh,
one.
yeah, that's right. Yeah.
He opens this kind of flap of the tent, and this waft of that incense, more intense as it kind of hits you. A small kind of fire or brazier made from look like the ribs of a large animal stand in the center, kind of coals burning. And you see another darker skinned lizard, but shorter again than Mecca who you're with, more so because he's hunched over he hunched over on himself, literally wearing a kind of a cloak of a skin of some sort, turns to you as you will enter. You've brought them. Good. And he comes up to the four of you. All the while his tongue tasting the air, and he looks across you all. And then he comes back to you, shoulder. This is true, you understand. Yes?
Yes. Rowan gave me the power to understand your language for a short period of time.
Good. So, you are the warrior of the group.
I'm
Follow.
one of them.
If you follow Rowan, surely. And
I
this is
am
all.
a
This is all
warrior.
being
Yeah.
said in his lizard.
Oh
tongue.
yes.
Lucky.
We're all warriors, every one of us. I am a follower of Rowan, but we're all fighters. We're all warriors.
God.
And in some people's eyes, we might even be heroes. I'm just telling him like we're all warriors because also if I was the warrior of the group, but I said we're all warriors, and I'm
Oh, yeah.
and
That's very good of
heroes.
you.
Thanks, buddy.
And he switches into a common tongue, which is a lot more fluent. As I speak a very good common, taught by the giant that I believe you have met, Manuk.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
I beat him in an arm wrestle. It was brilliant.
Well, the brawn of the group. Clearly you are.
No, I'm the brains of the group.
Yes.
Don't
And he gets
confuse.
this little kind of cheeky, almost malevolent smile creeps up on either side of him. Yes, you are traveling in a realm that is not your own. Correct.
Oh, no, we're not from here, no.
Yeah.
That is what I said. And you are here.
Oh, I
to,
thought it was a question.
It's good to get us
to
killed.
follow the champion's path. You clearly seek something special.
Yes.
Well,
And I've been led to believe that what I seek is in the temple.
the temple. The temple of conflict. Yes.
Yes.
It doesn't sound good.
I'm sensing there's a distinct lack of conflict really in this realm. It's not at all what I expected it to be.
One must appreciate that when you spend your lifetime at war, you would not bring it to your homeland, no?
Yeah, that makes sense.
An
You're
area of peace and tranquility, balance. It is not always about the fight.
My people say, don't shit in your own nest.
Oh, yeah.
Exactly.
Your people have nests.
Yeah, mate.
Yes,
Okay.
The
made of the
challenge,
bones of her
and he looks
enemies.
to you, is still as difficult. Follow the champion's path. And then a meeting with Sain. There is a great intelligence that lives in the temple.
Oh, sorry, you weren't talking about me.
But, unfortunately, I am unable to take you there. We have to choose a new leader of the tribe. Bad timing on your part, I would say.
That seems to be our way.
But that is fine. You will be able to take the path that all of our champions have to do. And I'm sure you will be successful if you are as strong as in the faith of Rowan as I believe you to be, as that I can feel. Yes, you have my blessing to move through to the champion's path.
Oh, thank you. We've also got this stuff from you for you from Manuk.
What stuff?
Oh, this big bag. He said, "Could we give it to you?"
And at that moment, a large scream is heard, followed by a wail, and then a shouting, and then silence. And as you kind of are offering this parcel, just deathly silence, and then just a raucous noise of argument, or what you can imagine being argument and shouting, and Mecca turns to you and, oh, good God, no, it's not. Oh, and then he just kind of darts out and runs down out of the kind of the flap of the hut into the village.
Yeah, I think that's our cue to do
Like, straight for the rapier, off we go.
You follow?
Yes, we follow. I'm betting we're faster than him because he's supposed to be slow.
Oh, no,
that
that's
is-
Mecca,
yeah,
not
yeah.
Messan. Aye.
He's not running.
I just said, do you know what that's about, Messan?
So you're staying.
Oh,
Oh,
well,
he-
I just
he's
want to
like,
ask you that before I go.
I feel something has been damaged. This may not bode well.
Well, we best go and have a look then, eh?
So you'll follow?
Yeah.
My
you follow.
sorrow to you and
it's
your
not
people for the loss of their chief.
I will come. And he makes his way, and you run, and you see this large gathering in the village, and there is one of the kind of the taller lizard folk is kind of holding on very forcibly to a smaller childlike creature, and he's screaming at him, and there's vehemence and there's anger in his voice, and there is a large gathering circling the two of them. And you push your way forward as Mecca goes and creates a hole. You can clearly see next to the child a small area, like stones encircling, a kind of little stone circle. And there's another couple of children, all look like lizard folk and all downcast, and one of them is the little girl you saw earlier, and she's kind of crying as lizard tears running down her cheek. And in this stone circle, which is maybe about 5 feet wide across, there is like a stone that sits maybe 2 foot off the ground, and next to that stone is what can only be described as 2 or 3 pieces of what like a wooden carving. As you kind of move in there, can I just get you all to make a quick investigation check?
Is it like the wooden carving doll that she had before?
No, this is more of it's like a stone carving, and depending on what you get.
What was it? Investigation?
Ooh. Yeah.
14.
3.
Cool. 25.
9.
You're going up in the world, Scold.
Yeah.
There's clearly what best to describe to you. You two like see a broken thing on the floor. Lots of people being angry and upset. Someone's clearly done something they shouldn't have, and something got broken. Something clearly important. Duncan, the stone idol or icon, what is the best way to describe it? It seems to be in 2 or 3 main pieces with a couple of stone shards broken from it. And under having a quick kind of look, you concentrate on the icon itself, and it seems to be a very like maybe a 1 foot high, what would have been a 1 foot high kind of stone carving, really quite detailed and intricate, of what looked to be a helmed warrior. Standing kind of feet together, both hands resting on the pommel of a great warhammer resting on the ground. Very similar with that, you'll remember the large giant carving up the far end of the realm. Very similar to that. And Tongues is coming up basically as saying, "You imbecile! You've broken our idol! Now our god would have left us! You will pay for this. Banishment is only the cause of root of this. If a lucky Vit is not here to see your shame." And he's just barraging this youngster with all sorts of kind of abuse as Mecca kind of like, "Oh God, what have you done, Sanuk?" This small child looks up. "I'm sorry, but we were playing and I tripped and fell, and before I knew it, I didn't mean to." All the while this is going on, slow movement in this is coming down the stairs.
Can I just like walk in and just say, "Hey, hang on, big fella, steady on. It's just a bit of stone,
And he
innit?"
does that, and he literally shoves your hand. "Mind your manners of what does not concern you." You clearly don't understand him, but there's quite a lot of aggression in his voice.
Well, I will just go out of it.
I prepare to die.
It looks like the spell is worn off.
It's an 18 to hit, as he literally just backhands you. It's 3 points of bludgeoning damage.
Yeah, I'll just stand there and take it and go, "Come on then, is that the best you've got?"
Oh, here we go.
What have you got in your hands, Duncan?
I've not got my axes out yet.
I will just say, it looks like he wants to take on like smaller of stature, so
You don't have mending as a spell, do you? Charles?
No.
no, not prepared.
This is Mecca has gone down, and he's got the pieces, and he's just like, he's speaking in his own tongue, and he's devastated.
Yeah.
This was their icon of their god and Rowan, and clearly by it being broken, they feel that the death of their chief has come, and now their god has left them because their best warrior and chief has died. in what is an accident, but
Yeah.
and they're clearly starting to blame this young child.
They seem to be blaming the child for like everything bad that's happened now because they broke this thing.
Well, that's not right, is it?
No.
It's not that little
As
kid's
he-
fault, is it?
No, and also like
No.
if that's so, should I try and talk some sense into them?
I'll just tell them that, Rowan, as a great warrior, wouldn't appreciate him picking on a child. If he wants to pick on someone, he can have a go at me.
Yeah. All right. So,
It was very quick.
the Rowan I know doesn't. His favors are not tied into like these trinkets. And also, I thought you guys were warriors. Like, and your chieftain died. He died a noble. That's saving the others. And also, actually, like taking on children. And, my friend Duncan here says,
Who are you speaking to?
the angry dude.
Okay.
And like in general, like everyone that will
He
listen.
turns his attention on you and just do not know our ways. Till
No.
you have lived us like us.
Yeah, well, I know Rowan's ways, and this is not Rowan's ways.
Well, that is for you to decide. And he kind of pulls up. But I will be the leader of this tribe, and I will hand out punishment as I see fit.
Yeah, well, you're not the leader yet, are you?
Mecca at this point puts his hands on you and says, in common, careful, my new friend, careful.
I'm always careful. I'm a diplomat at heart.
Roll a persuasion check to try and calm him down.
Oh,
I feel like one of us should go and sit with the little crying kid. I think
Yes.
our queen could manage that.
so that's it's
while
a
this is
16.
happening.
Okay. He's angry, but he just looks at you and looks at the lizard folk with you, and just for a second he kind of stops and he looks down at the child and just takes his arm off of him. But he says, "You'll keep." And at that point, the old Masan hobbles down. Problem. But before I deal with this, I believe you had a present or a gift for me.
Oh, yeah. I've not given it to him yet because this all kicked off, did it?
Yeah, it kind of kicked off as you were
Here
about
we
to hand
go.
it over.
Look, I've got this big parcel for Banuk. Hopefully, maybe it's a much better stone idol. That would be like the best outcome.
Yeah.
Worst outcome, it's some swords full of drugs. We've done that one before.
Get out the mushrooms quick.
As he starts to open the package, and Duncan said that, and it's the three of you just like, whatever. This kind of layer of cloth unravels, and it kind of just shrinks down in size. And then what he pulls out is a 1 foot, intricately carved stone idol
Stop it.
of a warrior,
Dun,
hound
dun,
warrior,
dun.
handling a wooden, a great warhammer, almost identical, but you can immediately see there's some strange, subtle differences on the weapon itself. And he looks down at this and he just chuckles to himself. It looks like, and he looks over to
The angry lizard.
It looks like, Jig, that our Lord and our God has not forsaken us, but has decided that now is a time for a new beginning. With this in mind, I think we will feast tonight and celebrate this gift and forgive everyone of their accidents. And then the little lizard is like fist pumping himself, going, "I just got away with something huge there." And I think perhaps we will ask the tribe again if someone wishes to take the champion's way. Because I fear that your attempt to become chief may not be quite the single easy task you fought. And that kind of the large angry lizard just turns around and just huffs off. "Fine, old man." And just stalks off, and a couple of them fall in behind him. as Messon just goes up and carefully places this new idol on top of this little stone plinth and goes up to the small child and I think maybe game's best played not near here. They're kind of like, yep. This is all like in like kind of hissing ape kind of noise, but you kind of getting the gist of what's been told as they kind of like the kids just run off. I'm sure you relay all that what's happened. And he looks at you, Duncan, and in his kind of common, a timely gift, you could say. Manuk gave it to you?
Yes. Oh, yes, he said we were to bring it to you. So that worked out quite nicely, didn't it?
Indeed.
He's quite clever, that Manuk, I think. He had glasses and everything, and he was reading books, which I think is overrated myself.
Yes. Well, I will go for a nap, I think, and join you for a little fire liquid tonight.
Yes, so I'm just going to remind you about the casks.
Oh, yeah.
I think there will be a party this evening. Master Sold.
Yeah, and Duncan's got some really cool fire trucks.
Yes, I can't wait.
Yeah.
As he shuffles off, Mecca turns around and he's like, what he does, maybe spends the next half an hour just explaining to you what kind of has been said by Messan and explaining that the large angry lizard Jik is kind of the head warrior now. He was second to Viet, and who was almost unchallenged for the leadership of the clan. But what has been decided is that there's an opportunity for someone else to take the champion's path, and he explains in a roundabout sort of way that by taking this challenge, you put yourself forward to become a leader, and then it is a decision by the village. But Jik is the only other lizard here that has taken successfully the champion's path and returned. And it is a kind of a trial of the heart of a warrior. And he explains that there's the large crack in the wall, and the champion's path is a journey to reach the other side of that. And upon being witnessed, you can then return and take your place as one of the warriors. And like kind of you have that conversation, and if with that information, if there's any questions that you would have had for him, ask now.
So, like, not necessarily about the champion's path, but how do we get to this temple place that you need to go to?
It should be like, I think, past the champion's path.
Yeah. And that, when you ask the question, that's the information you get. The Temple of Conflict is basically path. You have to take the champion's path, and then that will lead you almost directly to the Temple of Conflict.
Oh, so we have to do the champion's path as well.
Yeah, that's my question too.
Oh, cool.
Is there a ridgeline?
I'd like to learn about their customs and their funeral rites.
Yeah, he kind of takes the time to explain that it's very like almost medieval. They basically, when it's a leader, that's why it was such a grand funeral, as it were. Most people get kind of buried on a pyre, but yeah, it was more of a ceremony and a passing of a warrior, as it were, that you just happened to fall in on.
So this bully that seems to want to take over, so is that a common trait among these, or has he got like little lizard syndrome?
No, he is strong.
Yeah.
He is the strongest of us. But I feel that we could offer so much more. Clever thinking. Yeah, the best warrior is not always the strongest, but sometimes the smartest. And even...
No, I don't agree with that.
But as I feel that the four of you show, sometimes it is the coming together of all aspects. The best way I believe we can run the village is to have a strong leader that is intelligent and courageous and brave. And Jik is he is strong, yes, but he is...
He was a bit of a dick,
vile.
wasn't he? Jik the dick, I would call him.
Yes, he is a dick.
Well, and there's always someone stronger.
Yeah.
I wish I had taken the path when I had my opportunity, but I studied instead.
Well, you can take it now. We've got to go that way. We'll come with you if you want.
And
Make a
Mason.
persuasion check.
Oh dear goodness.
You're going to have to carry him.
I was gonna take the kid otherwise.
Yeah, think of the children.
Yeah.
Oh, that was 16.
Oh,
As you start talking, he just kind of, he's just looking at you. There's this pretty intense stare. I could.
Oh no, look what you've done.
Yeah, what's the worst that could happen? That's what I always say.
Yeah.
You disappear. To be honest, we think death for those who fail. You have done us a great favor by being here.
I think it's
you
like,
delivered the new icon
it's
to the
like a
temple.
sign, isn't it, really?
Yes,
it's an omen, yes.
my trade
Dang
to
it.
you is to lead you with everything I know of the warriors, the champion's path, and put you on your route to the Temple of Conflict. Yes, this will be my trade. Will you accept that? And
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
Oh my lord.
then, I
So
will-
you'll do the path as well then, will you?
yes, and then I will return.
Excellent.
And then I will
Yeah.
challenge Dick the Dick. And I will run this village properly. Yes, I must go and speak with my master.
Yeah, and I hope we will return too. It's not something like only like 3 people enter, 1 person leave.
I do
And
not know, I haven't
Oh.
done it. I have read, I know, and we've heard the tales of Vit. I will get the scroll, I will read,
Yeah.
and as the evening goes on, he kind of disappears and comes back excitedly with a scroll explaining what has been recounted from the trials, a great battle driven by faith, the original, the strength of the belief in your God to cross the unseen path, and just that ability to use and bring together all of your skills of leadership and combat and courage in the face of all that avails you is
Yeah,
what gets you through.
we've got the combat covered. I don't know about the other stuff.
I think we should have brushed up on Indiana Jones before we got here. You know?
And
This isn't
as,
looking good for me, just saying.
as the shade falls into kind of shadow, fires are lit and food is cooked.
Yes.
And a barrel is brought out and beer is offered around. Missan comes up
Oh, how do they know?
and he comes up and thanks you because I've been trying to convince him to do that for such a long time. He is a champion at heart and he will be a strong leader. I think this is his time.
Oh, you're welcome. I'm excellent at talking people into stupid ideas.
No, but I may thank you with this. And he holds out a kind of a clay bottle and he passes it to you all. Please, let us share a drink and enjoy the moment before you make your challenge to the way of a true champion and warrior. And he hands he just proffers this cask out to you all, this kind of clay flask.
Cool. I'm going to drink some.
Yeah, I'll drink to that.
Down for that.
I won't.
Okay, 1, 2, 3, you having some?
Of course I'm having some. I'm a queen.
As he does, he just plugs it back, hands it around. Can I get you 3 to make a constitution saving throw, please?
Oh no.
As this fiery hot liquid just run, not like heat temperature, but just like burn and alcohol and astringent flavour just runs all the way
I've
from
been here
down your
before.
gullet.
Did I check my stones this morning?
Yes, we all did.
Yeah,
Yes,
you did.
I've
Yeah.
got
when
a
you last
spot.
had a rest.
Oh, yeah.
Because you had a rest up by the
Yes,
boat.
because I haven't used. I'm
Oh,
gonna touch.
what is it? Constitution.
Yep.
Okay.
So I'm gonna use.
16 for me.
Yep.
Oh, this is why you can't drink. I got a 12.
Yeah, this is the first time I've had something to drink in quite a while.
you're good, Duncan. This is the stuff that puts hairs on your chest. You can feel like every hair on your body just grow another centimetre. It's great. Tish, you'll just start slapping your thigh, kind of like, oh, that's good. You get instant cold sweats, and you're like, it's like your tongue and your mouth is watering. Everything then suddenly dries out.
I'm gonna go for a walk down to the water.
But you manage
Again.
just as you go to turn away, you just settles and you're like, it's okay.
Yeah.
Good. And he kind of chuckles and slaps you on the back and walks off.
Yeah, I'm all good.
Oh, that was great. I'm going to have another drink.
Ooh.
He's left the bottle with you, and as you have another swig and another, and feel it kind of that warm, faint, fuzzy glow kind of come upon you. And a couple of the other, you obviously, what are you doing with tongues? Because there's obviously
Yeah.
dropped.
So I have got one more cast of it.
Tell
Okay.
you what it's doing.
Mecca comes over and starts speaking to you in his native tongue,
Yeah.
and seeing a lack of regard, he's like, well, we leave now.
Oh.
Come.
All right.
And as you make your way out of the village, suddenly there's a big whooping and cheering as people are bringing roast, or people like lizards are following you, bringing roasted meats and cheering. And there is a concerted group of maybe 4 or 5 that are just standing, watching, laughing, and they're kind of talking amongst themselves. And Mecca, he says, ignore them. They think I fail. I showed them.
Is one of them Jick?
Yes.
The dick.
Oh,
So they're just segregated themselves. They're not following the crowd, as it were.
okay. As we leave, can I, like, with one hand, grab a big roast to take with us?
Yeah, we need a roast. Come on, guys.
And with the other hand, can I give Jick the magic finger?
Is it the Chinese naughty finger?
Yeah.
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 Sorry to the
and he
Chinese.
kind of looks at you with a
Sorry.
little bit of a. Not quite sure what it means, but
I don't care if he knows what it means.
watch
I do.
his intention watching on you.
Yeah. Thank you for seeing us off and wishing us.
Goodwill.
Yeah.
Good
Yeah,
luck.
goodwill and a good journey, and we'll see you shortly.
Light and love, mate. Light and love.
I give Jake a little wave.
And they all turn to move away. You're taken and led maybe about half an hour's walk up to this stone kind of wall, and there's this large kind of cleft path through the middle of it, stretching all the way up to the top. Is this kind of this gargantuan wall and rock face, which seems like someone has parted it. A gap maybe 20 feet wide, maybe 40 feet long, and you can clearly see the exit.
Oh, sneaky. So we're having a nap?
And Mecca turns and goes, we now step. Everyone will stay here, and when we get to the end, and he shows you a kind of a rag he's got, I will lift this, and they will see, and then you're the true warrior. But I fear not as easy as it
No.
looks.
I definitely sense some owls in the bog here.
And with that, he turns and walks into the kind of the pathway with this massive kind of cheer and kind of guttural roar from everyone that's come here. And you kind of hear his name in some strange dialect being kind of shouted as I assume the 4 of you follow,
Oh, yes. I'm going to
Oh,
chew
yes.
on my big hunk of meat and follow him along.
as you do.
Right on.
You feel this kind of cold ripple over you as you cross a threshold that you didn't realise was there. Suddenly, you're on a ledge, and behind you there is just an expanse of nothing. And to the left and the right, just on for what looks like an eternity, is just nothing. About 60, 70 feet in front of you, as you stand on this rock path, an area of rock stands, or seems to be standing. It's free floating in the nothing. A bridge on the other side, leading off into another endless kind of path. And you're standing there, and Manuk turns. And so, we need to have faith and belief to cross this first part.
So with this like nothingness, is it like lit in some way? So I see there's actually nothing, or is it just darkness? So it
No,
might
you can
be-
see everything. It's
Yeah.
the same kind of swirling miasma of lights and shadow and kind of and everything, and you can quite easily see this layout, this kind of gap of nothing, and then 60 feet ahead of you, there's this kind of floating rock that is maybe 40, 50 feet, something like that, wide, with stones and statues on it, and just nothing.
Oh, is it like a leap of faith then, is it?
Possibly.
might think light thoughts.
And he looks, and as you go to the edge, there is just an expanse of darkness and black below you. And a little stone just falls and drops, and you can see it drop and continue to drop until it just disappears from your sight through distance. And the Manuk turns and goes, "So, brave adventurers, who will go first?" And on that, we will pause.
Oh, what? Oh, Mum.
Thank you, everyone, for following us. Don't forget to check us out on Kiwis and Dragons on Facebook and Instagram.
YouTube. I'll get more of the videos up on YouTube now.
Yeah.
And they're worth watching because, like, we just lose the plot totally in some of them.
Yeah, and always remember pineapple. It's a good safe word.
Thanks, everyone. We'll tune in next week to see Shoal jump off first.
Yeah, but it's fine. It's not the jumping off; it's the landing that.
Yeah. Thanks, everyone. See you. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.